thank you for choosing Apparacity.com. Hall of Shadows Radio is brought to you by our talented and hardworking cast from around the world. If you enjoy the show, please subscribe, and if you're able to, hit the donate button on hallofshadowsradio.com. Any amount would be greatly appreciated, so we can continue to bring you the show that we love to create.
Welcome to the Hall of Shadows.
One Night Stand by Kristina Rocco. Read by John Thomas. Children grow up fearing many things. Spiders, vampires, basement boogeymen. But for Nate Biederman, being alone was the one thing he'd always feared the most. Now 35 and chronically unemployed, Nate wondered if he would ever escape the cocoon of his parents' basement. All of his friends were either married or in committed relationships, so every Saturday night, he went to a different bar by himself, hoping to meet someone who would give meaning to his dead-end existence. Tonight's venue was a small, grimy bar in the west side of the city. It was already 11 o'clock, and the only woman who had approached him turned out to not be a woman at all. With a name like Pepper, he should have known better. Pouting over his vodka cranberry, Nate assumed that, as usual, he would be leaving alone tonight. The disgruntled man was about to leave when the door of the bar swung open. A wave of hot, humid air hit his face. In walked a tall, slender woman with long brown hair, wearing a tight red dress and open-toed shoes. She was gorgeous. Nate lowered his head as she walked in his direction. His eyes grew wide as he saw her drop her purse as she passed. An opportunity had finally presented itself. "Excuse me, I think you dropped this." Nate got up from his bar stool and handed the bag over to the woman. "Oh, thank you," she smiled back at him. "Can I buy you a drink?" "I don't know." She pressed her lips together, studying his face. "Don't worry, I won't buy unless you're into that kind of thing." "Sorry, that was stupid." Nate sighed. He was already blowing his chance. The woman laughed. "I guess one drink wouldn't hurt." "I'm Nate," he introduced himself. "And you are?" "Veronica." "Nice to meet you." "What do you do, Veronica?" "I'm a professional dancer." "As in poles?" "No, as in point. Ballet." Nate glowed with anticipation. He had never been with a dancer before, but according to his older brother, they made for excellent lovers. Their corporal awareness allowed them to move in ways ordinary women couldn't. As she spoke, he imagined the ways in which he would put her flexibility to good use. His face began to blush. Veronica went on to explain that she traveled city to city in a touring ballet company and that her next show would be at the city conservatory on Sunday. Nate did his best to deflect any questions about his life. There was nothing worth sharing, and he was not a skilled enough liar to invent a more interesting persona. Before they knew it, the bartender made his last call for drinks. "Well, I better go home," Veronica slurred. "I don't think you should drive." "Why?" she asked. "You just tried to pay your tab with your library card." Veronica looked down at the bar to find her library card on top of a paper receipt. "Oh, I could take you home. It's really not a problem." She finally agreed, and the two strangers walked out into the night. Nate helped Veronica into his car and put her address into the GPS. The ride, though only lasting 5 minutes, was uncomfortably silent. Nate's hands were so sweaty he could hardly keep hold of the steering wheel. He had fantasized about this very scenario a million times, but felt remarkably unprepared. Finally, arriving at their apartment building, Nate parked the car and helped her inside. The apartment, though small, was nicely decorated. Nice place. Thank you, she replied. Looking around her living room, Nate noticed a large fish tank in the corner. The tank, though filled with water and plastic reef decorations, was empty. Where are the fish? Veronica paused for a moment. I haven't bought any yet. Do you mind pouring us some wine while I go change? She asked, changing the subject. Not at all. Glasses are in the cabinet by the stove, she continued. Nate watched Veronica walk down a darkened hall, his heart beating, adjusting to the metronome of the swinging hips. Still under her spell, he walked into the kitchen, grabbed the wine bottle from the counter, and opened one of the cabinets. Both its shelves were fully stocked with large cans of dog food. That's a lot of dog food. Hey, where's your dog? He called back to her. She must have been at the other cabinet, he said to himself, his sobriety returning. Nate found the correct cabinet, poured 2 glasses of wine, and returned to the living room. A minute or 2 had passed, and Veronica had not returned. Veronica, you okay back there? Upon hearing the sound, Nate got up and cautiously approached the hallway. He jumped. Veronica was sticking her body sideways out of the bathroom door, her head turned towards him. Her hair was covering her face and her back was sharply arched. Out of toilet paper? I can get you some napkins. Liquid dripped from under her hair, collecting in a pool on the floor. 2 large, knotty hands slowly appeared and held onto the door molding. What the... Before he could finish his thought, the figure dropped down on all fours. Her body began to contort, her arms and legs growing in length. Nate could swear he saw something like a tall rip through the backside of her red dress. Maybe I should go. With that, the creature charged at Nate with lightning speed. Whoa! Nate jumped over the couch to hide behind it. This was not Veronica. This thing before him was a life-sized dog or a wolf trying to claw at him with its razor-sharp nails. Feathers from the sofa pillows were flying everywhere. That's when Nate remembered the dog food. He ran into the kitchen and removed a can from the shelf, took a spoon from the sink, and began hitting the top of the can. Here, girl! Here, girl! The creature ran into the kitchen and emptied the can onto the floor. She began devouring the food. There you go, nice and easy, nice and easy. Nate looked over the animal wound before him. Pepper didn't seem too bad right now. All better? He said sweetly. He screamed, twinkle, twinkle. Nate's phone began to play reggae music. It was his brother's text tone. Veronica immediately calmed down. You like reggae music? I got you. He pulled up a playlist on his phone and let it play. Nate took his date's oversized paw and brought her over to the couch. So, you brought me here to eat me? The creature nodded in agreement. Well, that's embarrassing. So, do you do any tricks? Okay, sorry, just trying to make light of a weird situation. Curiosity getting the better of him, Nate took off his sneaker and threw it across the room. The creature ran after it and obediently dropped the shoe by his feet. No freaking way. She fetches? The creature jumped onto the sofa and laid in Nate's lap, staring up at him. He slowly rubbed her belly, overwhelmed by the tenderness seeping through her beastly eyes. Wanna watch a movie or something? Nate suggested. Veronica came up, licking his face. He took that as a yes. Nate wanted something different, and this is exactly what he got.
Hall of Shadows is produced by Michael J. Rocco, directed by Kristina and Michael J. Rocco. For Apparacity, we bid you good night.